Since moving to Tennessee last summer, I have gained about 30 pounds. But I'm not here to make excuses, I'm here to make a change. So I'm gonna show you my strategy on how I'm gonna continue to cook delicious barbecue on this channel weekly and still lose weight. And if you love barbecue too and you're looking to lose weight, this is the video for you. And just FYI, to keep myself accountable, I'm going to make a YouTube community post every Friday just updating my weight loss progress. So whether you're bulking or cutting, if you're on this fitness journey too, then please make sure to comment in that post every week, because seeing your progress would be really motivating to me as well. So in order to succeed, we need a baseline understanding of how the body works. Losing, gaining, or maintaining weight all relies on the acronym CECO, which stands for calories in, or calories consumed, and calories out, or calories burned from activity. Therefore, in order to lose weight, I need to either eat less, do more activity, or a combination of both to create a large enough caloric deficit where my body can no longer sustain its current weight. But another thing to keep in mind is to make sure that the deficit is low enough to actually lose weight efficiently, but at the same time not too low where I'm losing weight at an unhealthy rate. To calculate how many calories I need to be in this sweet spot caloric deficit, there are many methods and devices that will give you an estimate, but this is the one that I know that is the easiest by far. Just take your body weight in pounds, mine being 255, and multiply it by 15, which equals 3,825. And then multiply that number by 0.75, which calculates to be 2,850 for me, which is the amount of calories I need to eat to lose about 2 to 3 pounds per week at my current size. And if you're interested, I got this calculation from Radu Antoniou, who doesn't post much on YouTube anymore, but he has some great fitness content if you want to check it out. And I'll have a link to his channel in the description below. But again, this is just an estimate. So calculate it with your own body weight, try it for a couple of weeks, and adjust it if you need to. Also, this calculation factors in my activity level every week, which I am following Will Tennyson's 5-day workout plan in his free video titled My Full Week of Workouts. I've been using this plan for the last couple of months and the strength gains have been great. And he just released a new training plan a few days ago, so if you're interested in either of the training plans, I will have a link to Will's channel in the description below as well. Along with that, I will be doing 2 hours of steady state cardio per week, because like Will Tennyson always says, just because girls can't see your heart does not mean that you're not at risk for cardiovascular disease, or something like that. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and start with tip number 1, which is making my kick day my cardio day. This is to offset the calorie surplus that awaits me at the end of the barbecue day. Because although barbecue is very high in protein, most cuts are also very high in fat, which makes it very calorically dense. Also, barbecue days are perfect for doing cardio because there's so many times in between where you can squeeze cardio in. For instance, I can do cardio while waiting for the rub to set on the meat, waiting for the cold bed to set up in the offset, or at the end of the cook while the meat is resting. Any of these times are perfect for me to head over to the gym for 40 minutes and jump on the elliptical. And I recommend some type of steady state cardio because you do not want to get super exhausted. Because cookout days means a ton of walking, especially if you follow tip number 2, which is to put the cooker as far away from the fridge as possible. So the fridge is in here.
What the dog doing?
On an average barbecue day, I walk about 10,000 steps, but since implementing this trick, I walk over 20,000 easily. And also, I keep my drinks in the fridge and not right next to me, so I can intentionally force myself to go back to the house for a refill. And while we're on the topic of drinks, tip number 3 is to not drink your calories. Now, I know that cracking open a beer and drinking it while grilling outside is ideal, but it will destroy you if you're on a diet. Because you'll start drinking, you'll get the munchies, you'll start eating junk food, and then at the end of the day, you're gonna eat a ton of barbecue. I would highly recommend drinking diet soda, and for me, my preference is Diet Pepsi, but any caffeinated drink will do because caffeine kind of curbs my appetite. But I will say that canned and bottled sodas can be kind of expensive, especially if you're already barbecuing, because that in itself is already a really expensive hobby. So to save money, I love these 0-calorie flavor enhancers at Walmart because they're only $3 and you just add it to water and it lasts for like 2 weeks at least. And the best part of all of these drinks is that you can drink as many as you want because they're virtually 0 calories. Just like our next tip, which is low-calorie sauces and rubs. So Texas style rub is just salt and pepper, which has virtually 0 calories. And recently I have fallen in love with Jirby style rub, which is salt, pepper, and Lawry's, which again has like 0 calories. And I'm telling you, these 2 rubs are all you'll need for any type of meat that you're trying to smoke. But if you're the type that likes sugar or brown sugar in your rub, I would highly recommend using a 0-calorie sweetener as a substitute. But you gotta be careful with which sweetener you use because some of them have like a really funky aftertaste. From my experience, I love Swerve as a brown sugar replacement and monk fruit sweetener as a white sugar replacement. These sweeteners to me have no aftertaste whatsoever, so if you want to buy some, I will have them linked in the description below. In terms of sauce, my favorite store-bought barbecue sauce is the one made by Sweet Baby Ray's that's sugar-free. It tastes fantastic and it's super thick, so I can cut it even more with apple cider vinegar to lower the calories, and most importantly, it's only 15 calories per 2 tablespoons. But if you want to go the homemade sauce route, then I have 2 recipe videos on my channel that you should definitely check out. The first is a standard barbecue sauce, and in the other recipe video, I made Barbecue Pitmaster Jirby's 3 barbecue sauces into diet versions. And I gotta tell you, the diet Jirby sauce is absolutely incredible. I like it better than the store-bought Ray's. Man, that's so good. So if you want to try them out, I will have links in the description for both of those recipe videos. Along with rubs and sauces, another thing that is delicious and low calorie is tip number 5, which is anabolic ice cream. Now, anabolic ice cream was invented by a bodybuilder named Greg Doucette here on YouTube. Now, this recipe has an insane amount of volume at 8 cups of ice cream for an entire serving and only 300 calories total. Now, there are tons of different iterations of this recipe online. In fact, I have my own recipe here on my channel where I made a vanilla beer milkshake. Delightful. And I will have that video recipe linked in the description below, along with my go-to recipe for anabolic ice cream, so you can check it out for yourself. Anabolic ice cream is great because you can snack and sip on it pretty much all day and be relatively full for such a small amount of calories. And you can be really creative with this recipe, add or subtract whatever you like, but the most important ingredient is the protein powder, because if the protein powder tastes bad, then the ice cream is gonna taste bad. For me, I am a huge fan of HTLT protein because I have tried so many different proteins over the last 15 years, and this one is by far the best tasting one. So if you want to give it a try yourself, I will have a link in the description below where you can buy it. And if you want to know more about HTLT, I have a video on the screen right now where I do a full review of their protein powder.